Thanks for joining us from the Ohio AgNet Voice You Know with the News You Trust studio, sponsored by Grain Equipment Company, where innovation meets execution. I'm Dale Menyo. The U.S. Department of Agriculture is encouraging dairy producers to enroll in Dairy Margin Coverage, or DMC for short, an important safety net program that helps offset milk and feed price differences. This year's DMC sign-up began on January 29th, and deadlines quickly approaching March 31st this year. The American Relief Act 2025 extended provisions of the Agriculture Improvement Act of 2018, or the 2018 Farm Bill, authorizing DMC for coverage year 2025. DMC provides dairy operations with risk management coverage that pays producers when the difference, the margin, between the national price of milk and the average cost of feed falls below a certain level selected by the program participants. For more information, see your USDA Service Center. Today's weather brought to you by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance online at seedconsultants.com. Here's the forecast.
Cold temperatures continue to hang around here for the next couple of days. I'm Chief Meteorologist Ryan Martin. Let's take a look at that Ohio Ag Weather Update for your Wednesday and your Thursday both. I'm looking at clouds and some sunshine, but temperatures that are slightly below normal for this time of year. Warm air isn't that far away to the west, but it just can't get here today or tomorrow. I do think the temperatures start to moderate going into Friday, and overnight tomorrow night into Friday, we are likely going to be watching a little bit of moisture come together over our neighbors to the west. Here, I think it's mostly a Friday event, Friday midday and afternoon, with rain over central and southern parts of Ohio. Half an inch or less is what I think we're looking at. Saturday is going to be sunny, warm, and dry. I don't think there's any new moisture that comes through on Saturday, but Sunday, rain is here. That rain continues off and on through Sunday afternoon, lingering precipitation through Monday morning and midday. I won't rule out rain ending as a little bit of sloppy, wet snowflake action at the end of Monday here. All in, all done, anywhere from a half to 1.5 inches of rain across most of Ohio. I'll put it at 90% coverage. We are chilly then for Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. Temperatures moderating on Thursday. That temperature moderation leads to rain overnight Thursday night and Friday, anywhere from a half to 1.5 inches. We follow that up with another weather system for the weekend of the 5th and 6th, potentially another half to maybe 2 inches. So it's going to be a soggy start to the month of April for sure. I'm meteorologist Ryan Martin.
And thanks, Ryan. Let's check in with Dusty Sonnenberg, telling us more about the upcoming Safety Congress.
I'm visiting today with Sandy Goldenvest. She is with the Ohio Bureau of Workers' Compensation. We want to talk a little bit about the Ohio Safety Congress and Expo hosted by Ohio BWC. Sandy, can you tell me a little bit about the Safety Congress and Expo and what someone can expect if they attend?
Yes, of course. The Ohio Safety Congress Expo is the largest free occupational safety and health event in the Midwest, and it's one of the biggest in the country. It's hosted by the Ohio Bureau of Workers' Compensation, and the event brings together thousands of safety professionals, business leaders, and workers to explore the latest innovations in workplace safety, risk management, and workers' compensation. Attendees can expect a dynamic experience featuring more than 100 educational sessions that'll be led by industry experts. We have a huge expo hall showcasing cutting-edge safety products and solutions, and hands-on demonstrations and networking opportunities with peers across the industries. So whether you're looking to enhance safety practices, reduce workplace injuries, or just stay ahead of regulatory changes, OSC is the place to be.
How can someone register for the Safety Congress?
Yeah, registering for OSC is quick and easy, and it's free. You just simply visit www.ohiosafetycongress.com and sign up. Attendees can browse the agenda, select sessions, and plan their visit. Since it's a hybrid event, you can attend in person at the Greater Columbus Convention Center or join virtually from anywhere.
That sounds easy enough. My guest again today is Sandy Goldenvest with the Ohio Bureau of Workers' Compensation.
And thanks, Dusty. Dairy herds in Ohio produced 444 million pounds of milk during February, down 2% from a year ago. That according to Ben Torrance, state statistician at USDA's NAS Ohio field office. The production per cow in Ohio averaged 1,760 pounds for February, down 25 pounds from February of last year. The dairy herd was estimated to be 252,000 head for February, down 2,000 from a year earlier. In the 24 major states, production per cow in those 24 states averaged 1,895 pounds in February, 66 pounds below that of a year ago. And the number of milk cows on the farms in the 24 major states was 8.96 million head, 75,000 head more than February of last year, and 13,000 head more than last month. While crediting the Trump administration for effort, agricultural groups are sounding alarm over the Trump administration's proposal to charge $1 million or more in fees on Chinese ship companies or Chinese-built vessels. Agricultural groups called on the U.S. Trade Representative to reconsider placing dock fees on ships from China. The Office of the U.S. Trade Representative was expected to hear from more than 60 witnesses Monday and today at a hearing over Section 301, proposed actions against China on maritime, logistics, and shipbuilding sectors. In an effort to rebuild the U.S. shipbuilding industry, the Trump administration has proposed charging ships with Chinese connections as much as $1.5 million when they dock in the United States for each port call. The fees are part of the Trump administration's effort to revive shipbuilding in the U.S., but it would take years of work to build more U.S. ships. Grain exporters noted there are only 14 U.S.-flagged bulk ships for moving corn, soybeans, and other commodities. The National Corn Growers Association on Monday called for the Trump administration to exempt bulk shipments of farm commodities from the docking fees. Corn farmers are currently facing numerous challenges in the farm economy, including rising input costs, volatility in commodity prices, and stagnant market access opportunities, said Illinois farmer Kenneth Hartman, Jr., president of the National Corn Growers Association. Adding further financial strain through higher transportation costs could result in more instability for our members, particularly those who depend on global export markets to remain competitive. The only person directly tied to agriculture groups who testified before the USTR was Indiana farmer Mike Cohen, and director of the American Soybean Association. With its inland waterways, rail, and roadways, I believe our transportation system is our competitive edge, he said. ASA supports the goal of increasing domestic shipbuilding capacity to aid in the export of U.S. agriculture. However, the proposed solution offered by USTR in this investigation creates unintended consequences for soybean farmers like me. We have already seen negative impacts on the futures prices for soybeans because of market reaction to this proposal, he explained in verbal testimony. In written comments, ASA cited more that 50% of domestic soybean production is exported. The U.S. doesn't have the capacity to export beans at the rate proposed by the USTR. We are extremely concerned that if this proposal goes into effect, U.S. soybeans will be effectively shut out of our global export markets, ASA stated. Growth Energy also submitted comments urging USTR to change course and reconsider the potential fees. Biofuels would also lose export competitiveness if the proposed fees went into effect, the group said. Just the talk of docking fees has impacted export commitments, the group stated. The Agricultural Transportation Coalition stated the proposed Section 301 rule would end U.S. agriculture and forest products being exported. Our foreign customers do not need to buy from us. They can and already have shifted sourcing to other countries. Increasing transportation fees would accelerate those challenges. The Agricultural Transportation Coalition cited Brazil as already taken significant market share from the U.S. in soybeans, cotton, beef, and lumber. Shipping commodities through U.S. flagged ships is not affordable and under every analysis will not be in the future. Not even close, the coalition stated. Back with more after this.
Don't miss out on a huge inventory of trucks and heavy equipment coming up for bid in the Ritchie Brothers Great Lakes Regional Sales Event, March 27th and 28th. All of our vehicles and equipment are always available for you to browse and inspect before the sale, both in person and online, so you never miss a detail. Register online today so you can take part and get ready to bid on a variety of assets that include truck tractors, van trucks, van trailers, excavators, flatbed trailers, and so much more. Visit rbauction.com to learn more and get registered.
This is Dale Menyo with the Ohio AgNet. For over 25 years, my truck has been running strong on biodiesel. Reliable, high-performance fuel that keeps me on the road promoting agriculture. Every gallon helps power Ohio's economy, protect our environment, and support our hardworking soybean farmers. The best part? It works in any diesel engine. No modifications needed. Take it from me. Choose biodiesel and drive with purpose. Learn how at soyohio.org. Today's market analysis is brought to you by the Louis Dreyfus Company, excited to be building the newest state-of-the-art soybean crush facility in Upper Sandusky, Ohio. For information on marketing your soybeans to LDC, call 574-566-2113. For your market analysis, here's Ryan Martin.
Grain markets finishing the Tuesday trading session mostly lower. The only place we were green all day long was soybean meal. Now, you get into some of these deferred bean contracts. New crop forward, we did see a slight little bump late in the trading session, and it goes along with the pullback that we saw on corn. Corn and wheat were down all day long, but probably the biggest headline from the Tuesday trade was a little bit of talk that maybe the prospective plantings report or the seedings report here coming up may have slightly more corn acres. Private estimates of seeding are rising. Farmers reporting that they're planning on switching maybe 10% of their acres from soybeans, cotton, and rice over to spring wheat or corn. There are about 180 million acres worth of corn and soybeans that are planted each spring. Mother Nature usually is the deciding factor, but this time it may have a little bit to do with economics. RMA's February revenue insurance value for corn came in at $470. That's pulled maybe a little bit of additional acres. We're also seeing some of the break-evens that are needed on soybeans rising here a little bit as well. It was argued by one market watcher that beans actually have to pencil $11, $12 or better to actually do as well as corn on a per-acre basis. Now, if we end up with extra seeded corn area, that would push your ending stocks above probably 2.2 billion bushels. So that's something that's going to be coming in here as well. And how far does the corn price go down with folks not marketing extra corn yet because they haven't planted it before we see that switch go back to the soybean side? That's the major talking point out of yesterday's trade. The wheat side of things was also playing into this as well because wheat had been stronger on poor weather in the Central Plains, but now we're putting together several rounds of moisture that come through over the next 2 weeks, right as the wheat is waking up and starting its growth pattern and growth period, and that moisture is definitely taking away all talk of crop concerns. I'm Ryan Martin.
And thanks, Ryan. Back with more after this. Attention, Ohio businesses. Join the Ohio Bureau of Workers' Compensation for the 2025 Ohio Safety Congress and Expo, April 16th through the 18th at the Greater Columbus Convention Center. Connect with industry experts, have hands-on training sessions, explore cutting-edge safety solutions with over 300 exhibitors. Whether you're looking to reduce risks, enhance productivity, or build a stronger safety culture, the Ohio Safety Congress is for you. Register at www.ohiosafetycongress.com. It's free.
You're not wired to have a response to this sound. You're neutral to it, and you can hear it repeatedly without feeling anything. But when we introduce a new stimulus, Save the Food, we've achieved pulling a natural or inborn response from you. Save the Food, because 40% of all food in the US never gets eaten. Save the Food. Cook it, store it, share it. Just don't waste it. For tips and recipes, visit SaveTheFood.com. Brought to you by NRDC and the Ad Council.
Today's market's brought to you by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance online at seedconsultants.com. Overnight at the open, May corn up 1/4 cent at $4.58. December down 1/4 cent at $4.48 3/4. March right between them, unchanged at $4.62. The May soybeans up 1/4 cent at $10.02. November unchanged at $10.06 1/2, and January is up 1/4 cent at $10.19 1/2. July wheat down 1/4 cent at $5.59 1/2. September unchanged, $5.76 1/2, and December up a penny at $6 1/2. In livestock, April cattle, $206.37, up 47. June up 17 cents at $202.32. August, though, is down 17 cents at $198.87. April lean hogs, 86.65, up 95. May up 50 cents at $89.05. The June is up 45 cents at $96.25. April feeder cattle down 40 cents at $284.85. May down 72 cents at $284.12. And August feeder cattle down 52 cents at $287.97. Thanks for joining us. I'm Dale Menyo. This is the Ohio AgNet.